Welcome to another edition of Get Woke with Danielle Moody. All right, friends, I've learned a new term, and it's something that I think we all need and that you're going to enjoy. The term is sane washing. That's right, sane washing. Journalist Parker Malloy, in a recent piece at the New Republic, which is here, has come up with a term for what corporate mainstream media has been doing to normalize the very abnormal, which is Donald Trump and his clear decline and mental acuity. And there is this video. Dear friends, before we get into the definition of sane washing, that I want you to take a listen to. This is Donald Trump at the Economic Club in New York being asked a question about childcare costs and, if reelected, what Donald Trump will do about child care costs. Take a listen.
If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. I was we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that because look, childcare is childcare. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions that I told you about on waste and fraud and all of the other things that are going on in our country, because I have to stay with childcare. I want to stay with childcare, but those numbers are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth, but growth also headed up by what the plan is that I just told you about. We're going to be taking in trillions of dollars, and as much as child care is talked about as being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. We're going to make this into an incredible country that can afford to take care of its people, and then we'll worry about the rest of the world. Let's help other people. But we're going to take care of our country first. This is about America first. It's about make America great again. We have to do it because right now we're a failing nation. So we'll take care of it. Thank you.
So, friends, what on God's green earth was that? If you just look at the transcript, if you were to just read the transcript, you would be like, wait, what was the fucking question? So let me read you now a piece of what the media has said about Donald Trump's mental acuity. They watched and listened, folks, to the same meandering that was absolutely fucking incoherent. But take a look at what the New York Times wrote up about it. After his speech, Donald Trump was asked how he might address rising childcare costs. And in a jumbled answer, he said prioritize legislation on the issue, but offered no specifics and insisted that his other economic policies, including tariffs, would take care of childcare. Did you all hear that in that 2 minutes? Here's Politico's summary. He also pledged to tackle government inefficiency with a new Elon Musk-inspired commission to launch a sovereign wealth fund. That was in another clip, and no, what he said was, I talked to Elon, and he's very smart, and you know Elon, and I think that he would be, good at directing some stuff. The Associated Press headline about Donald Trump's answer was, Trump suggests tariffs can help solve rising childcare costs in a major economic speech. What the entire fuck are you talking about? Because in nowhere, one, would in any Merriam or Oxford dictionary, would they call that meandering, ramble, jumble, word salad mess a speech? So that's number one. So already you out the gate lying. Number two, Donald Trump, all he throws around is words like tariffs and taxes and this, that, and the other thing, but also doesn't do the heavy lifting of telling the American people the truth, which is that if you charge foreign countries more to sell their goods in the United States, who is going to pay the brunt of said cost? But again, I'm even trying to now make sense out of the nonsensical, because if you were to just look at the fucking transcript, Donald Trump said nothing that resembled any of the summaries that mainstream corporate media would offer you. And so I want to go back to Parker Malloy, who offers this definition of sane washing. And I want to read it to you. She said, sane washing is this work where the media takes on the onus of trying to contort themselves into making sense of what doesn't actually make sense. And folks, this is what she writes. This sane washing of Trump's statements isn't just poor journalism, it is a form of misinformation that poses a threat to democracy. She goes on, by continually reframing Trump's incoherent and often dangerous rhetoric as conventional political discourse, major news outlets are failing in their duty to inform the public and are instead providing cover for increasingly erratic behavior from a former and potentially future president. The consequences of this journalistic malpractice, she writes, extend far beyond misleading headlines. By laundering Trump's words in this fashion, the media is actively participating in the erosion of our shared reality. And that's what I'm saying here, folks. Because when I listened to those 2 minutes, and then I want you to listen to another clip, but when I listened to those 2 minutes, and then I looked and I saw Politico and the AP and the New York Times headlines, I said, did they listen to the same shit that I just heard? Like, am I crazy? Right? It's like, if you're listening to someone speak a foreign language that you don't know, and everyone around you is like nodding because they know the language, but you don't, it's like they're interpreting Donald Trump to make him seem normal and coherent. But if you're listening to him in real time and not their summarization, then you know that he sounds nuts. Case in point, listen to this clip. Same place, but we're talking now about global warming. Take a listen.
When people talk about global warming, I say the ocean is going go down 1/100th of an inch within the next 400 years, that's not our problem. Our problem is nuclear warming, and we better be smart, and we better have smart people at the top that know how to deal, because these people don't know how to deal.
Y'all, he ain't okay. He is not okay. And what I continue to say is that this sane washing, this is now the term that we're going to use instead of whitewashing or greenwashing. We are talking about sane washing, the ability to take insanity, look for any kernel of reality and normalcy, and then extrapolate your writing and your commentary based on that kernel. It is beyond journalistic malpractice. Because what Donald Trump is saying when he goes off on tangents about electric sharks and Hannibal Lecter, right? And just goes on the stream of conscious off the fucking cliff crazy. If you didn't watch it in real time or see a clip and you're just seeing the headlines, you're like, oh yeah, he presented an economic plan. In what world? Honestly, in what world? Sane washing, folks. It is a reminder to all of us that we are not nuts. That this isn't just about old age, in which Joe Biden was readily attacked over and over again. It is the reason why he is no longer the candidate. It isn't age or the stuttering issues that Biden has struggled with throughout his political career and his life. This is what Trump is exhibiting, is absolute mental decline. In less than 60 days, he can have his hands back on the nuclear button, being given classified documents and information. Do you trust him? Because I tell you what, I don't trust him or the corporate mainstream media as far as I can throw them. And neither should you. That is it for me today, dear friends, on Get Woke. As always, power to the people, and to all the people power. Get woke and stay woke. And also, friends, you see me, I'm rocking my Future is Woke t-shirt. And if you are looking for a cozy sweatshirt or a t-shirt to rock on your errands, do go to daniellemoody.com and shop at the Damn Shop and grab you a piece of the capsule collection. I will see you all next time. Stay safe and sane.